Welcome to another edition of Crime News with Mark Solomon. I'm an attorney in Denver, Colorado, and today's issue is a follow-up on yesterday's revelation that Lori Vallow will be declared not competent to stand trial. But before we get to that, don't forget to click like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video. Maybe you'll enjoy the others and the ones I'm going to upload in the future. Click that bell to be notified. So yesterday there was a revelation that the prosecutor revealed that his own state's expert found the exact same thing as the defense expert, that she is not competent to stand trial. The next thing that has to happen is they have to get into court so that the judge can make that final determination and do the civil commitment so that she is held in a mental health hospital so she can be restored. What does that look like? First off, got some comments from viewers yesterday, and they were talking about how this relates to Lori's husband, Chad's case. They were both indicted together for the same murders. What's going to happen for that? He's charged with conspiracy to commit murder. So is she, and the murders of the kids themselves. So the question is, how does this commitment and this non-competency relate to his case, or can she blame him? And the answer is, well, nothing's going to happen in her case until she is found to be competent to stand trial. She's simply going to be locked up. So the question of who blames who for what really doesn't make any difference at this point. Whether he blames her or she blames him, his case is not something we're talking about today. So when we look at the actual question of what happens next, we're going to get to that. First off, we're going to do a quick recap. If anybody who hasn't been following the Lori Vallow case, here's what's happened. September 8, 2019, Tylee, JJ, Lori, and Alex all visit Yellowstone Park, and that's the last time anybody ever saw Tylee. Same day, Chad, Tammy's wife, had her life insurance increased to the maximum. Seems a little suspicious, seems a little bit coincidental. Next day, phone records indicate that there was some sort of a shooting. Chad claims that he was shooting at some animals, and that's the same basic place that they found the body. Next thing, October 18, Chad calls 911 saying that she died in her sleep, and this is where it gets a little strange. The police don't really investigate. They take the claim that she died of natural causes. This is his wife, and they just leave. There was no autopsy performed, and she was buried 3 days later on October 22nd. Next thing, on November 5, 2019, 2 weeks later, Chad and Lori get married in Hawaii. Then the police announce that JJ and Tylee were missing. Day later. Now, I forgot one thing. The indictment says something interesting. This is October 26th, that Lori Vallow Daybell and Chad Daybell began discussing religious beliefs to justify killing Tammy, JJ, and Tylee. And interestingly enough, those are the exact three people who they are now charged with the murders. So a little bit of interestingness there. So the actual question, we got an email. Number one, what's the timeline for something like the restoration? And that's a good one. The basic problem with the restoration is restorations take as long as they take. Anytime a person is committed for restoration, this goes back to whether or not the doctors can certify to a court that this person is competent to stand trial. Number two, do both sides have to agree before she starts getting treatment? Answer to that is absolutely not. Once the judge finds that she's not competent to stand trial, the judge is going to hold her in custody until the experts make some sort of a petition saying she's ready to resume the case. So that the rumors of schizoaffective disorder or anything else, that's really going to be left to the mental health hospital. Number three, if that is true, what's the timeline? Again, there is no timeline. This is going to take as long as it takes. And if she's held for the rest of her life in custody in a mental health hospital while the trial is on hold, that's what's going to happen. Last, do both sides have to agree that she's restored? Answer is absolutely not. First thing that happens is the state's expert is going to keep reevaluating Ms. Vallow, and when she is found by the state to be competent, they will do a petition, and the defense will have, just like the prosecution have on the competency issue, on the restoration issue, they have the opportunity to contest that. So you're going to have the battle of the experts, and the judge is going to get to make a decision, and if the judge believes that the state's expert is more accurate, she will be found to have been restored, and the case will continue. Really good issues on today's video. Great participation by your viewers. Thank you so much, all of you. The email question was phenomenal. Hit the issues dead on. Was able to address those on restoration. If you have your own questions, issues, comments, you can always put them in the comments below. Email me or tag me on Twitter. And as always, in any criminal case, you should probably remember, if a police officer is asking you questions about what you have, what you know, where you've been, or anything, you have a right to say, I don't want to talk to you. And if they persist, you can always say, I want a lawyer. Thanks for watching. You can look for updates in the future. I'll be here.